Hey, welcome back. In this video we're going to be making this animated title in Fusion. This is quite a dense project with lots of layers, lots of animation in it. Hopefully you'll pick up lots of techniques that you can use in your own work. Okay, so we're in the edit page of Resolve, as you can see, and we're just going to jump into the effects tab here and search for Fusion composition. Chuck that on the timeline, and then we can jump straight into Fusion. Cool. So let's just chuck a multi-merge and a transform, hook those up to the media out, and then we want a background, and we want an ellipse mask, and we'll pipe the ellipse mask into the blue mask input of the background, and then this can go into the yellow background of the multi-merge. Okay, let's just jump into the inspector. I just want to resize this a little bit. So we'll change the width to 0.4 and the same for the height. Look at that, that's looking good. Okay, let's just highlight both of those and copy and paste twice. That's just with the Command C and Command V to copy and paste there. And then let's pipe this one into the multi-merge. Now we're going to go into the background and change the color to F5, FD, FF. Look at that. Then we go into the ellipse and let's just change the border width to 0.019. That's just an easy way to expand the circle without having to change the width and the height separately. You can just change the border width of the whole thing. Then finally let's go to the last ellipse here and pop that into here. Now change the background fill type to a gradient, and then if you click this first triangle on the left here and open up the color, and by the way we're in the RGB sliders here, and that allows you to change the hex color value. So for this one we're just going to have a solid white, which is just 6 Fs, like that. And then we click on the right hand triangle and open the color inspector, and we're going to change this one to E3 FE F5, and that gives us a subtle kind of blue colour. So we're also going to add a drop shadow after this background node. So with the background highlighted, let's add a drop shadow like that. Then we'll change the strength to 0.63. We'll change the angle to 150. Change the distance to 0.0094, and then change the blur to 0.528, like that. And that just gives us this really nice little subtle drop shadow on the very edge of the circle here, a nice little border. Now we're going to go back to our first ellipse, which is on the bottom of this stack, and we're going to add a directional blur. And then for the controls of the directional blur, let's change the length to 0.051 and the angle to 28.7. There we go. You can just see this nice little drop shadow out to the side here. We're also going to add a Gaussian blur to that just to soften it up a little bit. So with the directional blur node selected, press Shift Space, and let's grab that Gaussian blur. Now untick the same horizontal and vertical checkbox there, and we're going to have the horizontal strength as 0.7 and then the vertical strength as 0.4, like that. There we go. So that's the first part built out. You've got these 3 circles going into the multi-merge, and then after that they're all going into this transform here. And the reason I've done that is because then when it comes to animating this shape later, you can control things like the size of all of these nodes all at once. You can change the position on the screen the angle and etc. So let's crack on with building out the next part, which is the text and graphics to go over the top. I'll just resize that back up to scale. So we're going to add, after the transform node, we're going to add another multi-merge like that. Then we're going to grab a text plus. Let's grab 2 text pluses and then a multi-text as well. So text 1, let's plug that into the multi-merge, and for this one we're going to write mountain and change the color to black. That change the font to Anderland Demo, and then we'll just scale it up with the size here so that it's just overlapping the circle there. Next we're going to pipe in this text 2 like that, and for this one it's going to say fresh, change the color again to black, and I'm going to use the American typewriter font, which is just a fancy mono-spaced font. Now let's go into the layout and just change the Y axis. So it's just down at the bottom here, that's looking good. Back into the text, and let's change it to regular, like that. And I might just bring the size down a touch. That's looking good. Okay, and this multi-text, we want to have some text running along the top of this circle here. So what I'm going to do is add a circle layout text block like this, and we can delete this text 1. And then we could change that to dash since 1258. That, change the color as well to black. Also going to have that in the American typewriter font, regular. Oh, let's just pipe that in so we can see what's going on. There we go. Now you can see that it's flown along the top of this green circle here, but what we really want is for that green circle to match up to our circles in the background here. So we're going to layout, and let's just play with the scale of that. So let's take the width down a little bit and then move it up a tiny bit like this. I think the width can come down even more. And then back into the text, and let's rescale that text so that it's quite a bit smaller. Something like that should be good, I think. Just tweak this. There we go, that's about right. Okay, looking good. Now let's add a background and a rectangle mask. Then pop that in to there. And let's resize this rectangle, so let's change the height to, let's have 0.003, so it's a nice thin line, and then just adjust the width as well. Let's use the Y axis to bring that down into the composition here, change the width a bit more as well. There we go, that's looking good. Now as the final little cherry on the cake, I've got a nice PNG here with a transparent background that I can just drop straight from the media pool onto the node tree. Let's pop it down here. And that'll create a media in. And if I pop this in here, that's the PNG. Now to rescale that, let's add a transform like this, and then change the size. And let's just place that correctly in the image. There we go, that's looking good. And that's our finished composition constructed. So next we're going to have a look at how we can animate this to really bring it to life and make it pop. So the first thing we're going to do is animate these background circles here. So let's go to frame 3, and we'll go to the transform node here that's after the circles, and we'll just pop a keyframe on the size like that, and then using the arrow keys skip back to frame 1 and drop the size down to 0 like that. Next we're going to animate all the rest of the elements so that they animate on in different ways. So let's go forwards to frame 8 and let's start with the mountain text here, and we're going to have that right on, so just add a keyframe to right on. Let's go into the second one here, the fresh text, and for that one I'm going to have it animate on with the size control, so add a keyframe to size. Then next the multi-text. For this one I want it to fade on, so let's go back into the text tab and down to merge here, and then we go to alpha gain and pop a keyframe on there. Then let's go to the mountain range, go to the transform node, and we're going to animate the size for that one, so pop a keyframe on there. And then finally this line here, I want it to extend out from the middle, so we go to the rectangle node and we pop a keyframe on the width value like that. Okay, so let's go back to frame 2 just as this circle is halfway towards being fully expanded, and that's where the animations for the rest of the graphical elements are going to start. So let's go back to the mountain text and we'll grab the right hand side of the right on tool and bring that all the way down. Then we go to the fresh text, and for that one let's drop the size all the way down. The multi-text, let's go down, back down to this alpha gain, and we drop that down to 0 as well. Then for the mountain range there, we're also going to animate the size, so in the transform node drop the size down to 0, and then finally the rectangle, we're going to drop the width down to 0 like that. So let's have a look at what we've got here. Boom. So now let's just jump back into the edit page and have a look at what else we can do with this. So at the moment this is just sort of freestanding with a transparent background, so you can put this over the top of footage or just a plain colour, which is what I'm going to do. So let's grab a solid here, chuck that underneath like that, and change the colour in the inspector to E2FED, which is a nice mint green colour like that. Now the great thing with this as well is you've got control from the edit page of things like fade ins and fade outs, but then also crucially you can fully change the size of the entire composition or the position on screen, and that's independent of the animation that you've just created. You can even change things like the rotation angle and animate that as well with the keyframes here. So that's it. Hopefully that's given you lots of ideas for how to make something similar yourself. You can adapt so many of the elements of this and animate it in different ways. So have a play around and see what you can come up with. Hope you enjoyed that. There's going to be plenty more title tutorials to come, so stay tuned for more.